My name is Adele, Adele Mappison, and I live here with Jenny Hayes, and we have been here now for about 15, 16 years. It's a place we love. It has 7 acres which are quite beautiful, which we think are just, it's very special. And we enjoy being here. We have 2 donkeys and we have a couple of horses at the moment, and we have lots of wonderful trees and flowers.
The property itself hasn't changed that much in the time that we've been here. We did a substantial amount of work around the house to try and rehabilitate a place that really, I don't think, sat in the landscape very well at all. So we've worked very hard around the house. The paddocks themselves were left to the vagaries of 2 donkeys who wandered near and far. We both joined land care as a way of learning how to manage the property better than it was, because gauze was a major issue here. And also we were trying to, I think, attract more bird life. There's wonderful bird life here as well, so it was a case of trying to maintain a place where the birds would come. And then we were offered the opportunity to engage in this new project. People recognised the beauty of some of the wildlife that we had here, substantial amounts of flowers and so forth, and then that's when we joined
the project.
Yes, the grassland project.
I think my hope for the property is that we will be able to be part of something that helps to re-establish the native and natural wildlife and wild flora and fauna around here. And my dream would be that in a time when we are no longer part of it, then we have given this place a chance to regenerate.
Trees have been lopped and felled and so forth, but we've been very lucky with this particular block that the trees here have been estimated to 150 to 200 years of age. So that seemed important for us to maintain as much as possible.
There were 2 sort of major large paddocks at the back and the front of the house, and we decided that we would fence off some of that to provide a home for our animals. But we have then had a large proportion of both the front and the back paddocks fenced off from the animals so that it can regenerate.
When we began to realise the extent of things that were already growing here, it seemed important to preserve those. As you get older, it becomes much more difficult to maintain a property of this size. Whilst this may look a bit chaotic to those going by, we're aware that something good is occurring in amidst that, and being of an age where we can sit back and enjoy it without needing to be overly fussed about constant maintenance of keeping things in order, that's all. Allow them their freedom.
Well, I think what pleases me greatly about the project is that I can see out, even after a couple of years, that we have got regeneration of small trees that are coming, and that is hopeful for me. I mean, the flowers have always been here, but it's wonderful to see them still and to see how many of them there are.
I think that it also allows for a range of small creatures here. You know, we're very reluctant to use poisons and so forth, with the exception of gauze, because there are an enormous number of small birds that come. But there are bats and there are frogs and bush rats, and there's an echidna and there are wallabies, and so you have to learn to live with their lack of understanding about what you're trying to do sometimes. But that's all part of providing, I think, a habitat that is welcoming to small things that we'd like to see around the place.
So at the moment there are lots of beautiful little, what I call native orchids, and there are these beautiful little blue buttons that are on the way, and there's early Nancy's that are there, and there are wonderful grasses that will come later in the season, which I love to see, you know, and to hear. I love to hear the wind going through them.
So I'm grateful for the opportunity to have participated, and certainly it was much easier having people with expertise to kind of guide and identify and encourage, I suppose.
I love the fact that when our kids come here, they ask to see what's happened, and they themselves are very proud that we are doing this. So it makes me think that we are doing something that is good for the next generation and for the whole environment around us. And I am proud that we have been able to do this, and Jenny is right. We have been well supported in doing this, because it would have been very expensive for us to put up the fencing that has happened. So we are very glad of that. In terms of whether we would recommend other people being in part of this project, I would definitely say yes. It hasn't been a lot of stress for us at all. And in fact, lots of it has been quite easy for us to manage. So that we have had people who've come and put fences in for us, people who know what they're talking about and have walked us through the property, people who have come back and just had a look to see how things are going on. In the end, I think It has been a lot of gain for us and not a huge amount of stress. People have said to us, you know, why are you doing this and why are you fencing off your land? And I said, but we are doing something for the future. We are participating in restoring something that for us is very significant. And if we can do that, then I'm very glad. So I'm hoping that's what we're doing.